then we continue. We move on to grades 3 to 4, where we're doing Didn't My Lord Deliver Daniel. Now, because the children here have grown a little bit, we now get 2 lines. We're doing 2-part voice song called Didn't My Lord. Actually, this is an arrangement for 2-part. As you know, there are a lot of other arrangements of the very same song. Now, here's the first thing I'd like to highlight about the song, because before we talk about it, it is the structure. And I think we need to really listen through very carefully how it repeats itself and everything about it. So, it will go from bar 1, right? From bar 1 up to bar 11, which is like the exposition of the song. Bar 1 up to bar 11. Then from bar 11, where it says driving rock, which is now bar 12, it moves across. You go with it from bar 12, and then it moves along, just like that. It moves along until bar 33. When it gets to bar 33, it doesn't mean now that you see that sign, you have to go back. You just have to continue. It just alerts you now that, somewhere we're going to have a repeat. So you're starting at bar 12, and you're going through with the song, right through with the song, until you get to bar 49. From bar 12, you go up to bar 49. And then from bar 49 now, it says DS Alcoda at bar 49, which means you go back to bar 33, where we saw that sign, right? And then you move along bar 33, and then when you get to bar 38, where it says Deliver Daniel, it says to coda. You have to skip, and you skip straight to coda, which is at bar 50. Coda, as we know it, is the closing part of the section. So, summarily, bar 1 up to bar 11, no repeats. And then from bar 12, you move with bar 12 up until bar 49, right? And then you go back to bar 33. You move along with it. When you get to bar 38, you skip because it directs you. It says to coda. You will skip straight to coda, which is bar 50. Okay, now into the song. The song has got, one can say, 2 parts in terms of tempo, or in terms of the feel of the song. The exposition is rather slower. Didn't my Lord deliver Daniel? Deliver Daniel. Deliver Daniel. So it needs to be very calm. In fact, the song is calm in nature, in its nature. Listen to this. And then they go, Didn't my Lord. So, same way we did with the smaller ones. We'll do exactly the same with this one. Rhythm first. Read the words, but read them in rhythm. Because this one, they used a lot of tonal language, a lot. They've ensured that the right words are on the right beat of the song. Didn't my Lord deliver Daniel? Deliver Daniel. Deliver Daniel. And then saying the words over and over in the right rhythm will also help you deal with the syncopated rhythms quite well. Because if we rush to singing, then the syncopated rhythms might be lost here and there, should one of the choristers maybe not get it well and influence the rest of the choir, and then you lose the whole essence of the rhythm. So you don't want that. You want them to get it while they're still reading the words. Didn't my Lord deliver Daniel? Then why not every man? So I don't want to talk about the interpretation of the expressivity just yet. We'll talk about it later. I just want us to focus on the technical aspect of it. So most importantly, the first technical aspect here is rhythm, the one that is very, very significant. Because in terms of rhythm, they are in unison, right? They're in unison, they're singing exactly the same rhythm. So you cannot have one chorister or a few choristers being out. It will just immediately say that they're out. Okay, and then we get to the driving rock part, which is at bar 12. Now this one is a note to the conductors. Because you've been coming at a very rather slow tempo, then why not every? So that every serves as your upbeat to the new tempo. It serves as your upbeat to the new tempo. So the fermata that you're going to be holding on the re of every serves as your upbeat to the next tempo. So while you're holding it, know that when your hand come down, or as your arms come down for the first beat, tempo must have been changed. And the accompanist, or whoever it is that will play piano for you, will depend mostly on your upbeat, on the speed of your upbeat to say, oh, we're going at this tempo. Are we going faster or are we going slower? Example. Then why not every, and then upbeat. So that would be your tempo, driving rock. It's up to you, of course, because now tempo, remember as we say, tempo is always approximate. They wrote it for you there between 132 to 144. So which means you can utilize that space around. So if you like, you can go slightly faster. So it's up to you how you'd want to utilize the tempo. But remember, the faster you go, the more challenges you'll have in terms of the articulation of words. It will require you to work a lot more on articulating the words. So as you did with the exposition, you will need to read through the lines in a correct rhythm and perhaps in a correct tempo as well, just so that you can follow well in terms of, just so that your choir rather can have their text well and clearly articulated. Now, as I said, the song will just move on like that and it will go past bar 33 as if nothing happened. So that melody will keep on recurring, which poses another challenge for you to say, how are you going to keep the audience captivated with the same kind of melody recurring and recurring and recurring without sounding monotonous? You'll just have to find a way how you're going to vary it in terms of dynamic changes as well. But here's a careful note again. Here's what you need to be careful of again. Because the song has a lot of energy to it, whatever dynamic that you choose, dynamic level that you choose, make sure that it does not drop the energy. If you want to go soft, make sure that as they go soft, they keep the intensity of the energy. So that, and how do they do that? They keep it obviously by overemphasizing the words. They keep the energy by saying more, by sticking more to the rhythm, by marking the rhythm more. Okay, so they will go along with that until the last page where it says DSL quarter, and as we agreed, it will go back to 33. And now, when that part happens at bar 38, where now you have to skip, it's also a very, very careful moment here. Deliver down, yeah, now rhythm changes. Then the rhythm changes at bar 50, 50, 51, and the first part, the sopranos, will go did in my lord, echoed by the second part, and then the first part again, which is the soprano one, will have to echo again. So no waits in between. You do not have rest in between. So it's didn't my Lord, didn't my Lord, didn't my Lord. And then one rest, deliver Daniel. I'll repeat. Didn't my Lord, didn't my Lord, didn't my Lord, deliver Daniel. Right. So in conclusion, just the part on expressivity. We all have our own take when it comes to interpretation, especially when it comes to biblical themes or when it comes to religious themes. Now, you'd remember that these songs are part of the tradition of the Negro spirituals, which we're told that historically they used to sing these songs while they're experiencing hardship or while they were working in the fields. They would sing this song. But then these songs were spiritual in a way. They were not just secular songs. So when you say, didn't my Lord at the beginning, deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel. Is someone who has not lost hope yet, but is someone who's saying, if the Lord delivered Daniel from the lion's den, why can't he deliver us from the slavery that we're in? Why can't he deliver us from the oppression that we're in, right? And the reason for the driving rock at bar 12, it is just emphasizing on what you were saying earlier on in a slower tempo. So we do not need to lose it. It does not necessarily mean now that it's faster, it does not mean that it has to be all nice and dance and all that, because the theme is still that of someone saying, didn't my Lord deliver Daniel? It's more of a question mark. Deliver Daniel. So hence we need a lot of intensity in terms of text and in terms of rhythm as well. Good luck with this song as well.
Our next song that we are going to do for now, it is going to be a song which is prescribed for the grade 3s to grade 4. Leli culo libhalwe usisi Thobile kaMthiyane. Kanti piano accompaniment yenziwe uThabang wakamshweshwe. The title of the song, it is called Estezi. The background, or rather the inspiration behind this song was, it happened to usisi Thobile Mthiyane was ill at some point, and she was looked after by her sister igama lakhe lunguSibongile, and her husband, who is Den, who is a Pedi gentleman. Now the composer was inspired to write this song because of the warm welcoming that she received from the landlords, that is her sister uSisibongile and uDen, sizombiza uBraden. Now we're going to do this beautiful song, which is called Estezi. If in case you want to know what is Estezi, it's eMpumalanga in an area called KwaMhlanga. Estezi, and it sounds something like this. Or rather, there are things that we also need to look into, by the way, before we even start. For example, the key of the song, it is in the key of D major. The lowest note in the song, it is D, and the highest, it is E. I also need to take into consideration that the music will also start in what we call an anacrusis, which is an upbeat. Now, when we look into the song, there are no dynamic indications, which means, it means the conductor will have to be creative. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us look at this song, which is called Estezi. the first section of the song. This is where the composer takes us to this amusement that she is faced with. Ithi ngibukiseni lo muzi omkhulu isithabathaba umhlophe uthe qwa njengeqhwa ebusika muhle lo muzikazi kuhlala ipedi nomkalo omuhle ixhegu nesalukazi. Now when it moves to the second section there at bar number 18, this is where now she becomes a bit more anxious. She says, ngangqongqoza wakhohle ukuthi ubonile ubuhle bale sisithabathaba esimhlophe esithe qwa. Uyangqongqoza manje. She's looking forward to see the inside of this house. Ngangqongqoza ngavulelwa ngakhangwa zibili iboco. Awu jeqe nyama masalad necoke. Awusuka madoda nejuice. Woza siye Estezi. And then that part repeats again. Ngangqongqoza ngavulelwa ngakhangwa zibili iboco. Awu ice cream, jelly, no custard, no sweet, no juice. Ziyabuya Estezi. Ziyabuya Estezi. Awu ziyabuya Estezi. Now let us go back, ladies and gentlemen, to where we've left off, which was bar number 17. Now, this is the part where she becomes curious. You can even tell that the music becomes a little bit more edgy. Can we start directly from bar number 17? Upbeat. Ngangqongqoza. 3. Ngangqongqoza ngavulelwa ngakhangwa zibili iboco. Awu jeqe nyama masalad necoke nejuice. Woza siye Estezi. Right. I will please look again into the rests which are clearly indicated. Ningabe bese niba tempted to go beyond the rests themselves. Awu jeqe nyama. Yabona mase onke ahleli nama rests. Masalad necoke nejuice. Woza siye Estezi. Let us take it again from where we've started. Bar number 18 upbeat. Then we'll go all the way to bar number 39, as I believe. Upbeat, bar number 17, please. 1, 2, 3. Ngangqongqoza ngavulelwa ngakhangwa zibili iboco. Awu jeqe nyama masalad necoke nejuice. Woza siye Estezi. Ngangqongqoza ngavulelwa ngakhangwa zibili iboco. Awu ice cream, jelly, no custard, no sweet, no juice. Ziyabuya Estezi. Ziyabuya Estezi. Ziyabuya Estezi. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I wish that you also take into consideration the rests because they also create a musical dynamic. So I would like you to also look at the last 2 bars where the piano will be playing alone. We would like to also encourage the conductors to understand, or rather even know, where the piano starts and where it ends, and understand where it starts and how to indicate those type of beats, so to speak. Because sometimes conductors are basically, they do what we call alienating the pianists. You'll find a pianist sitting in the corner. The conductor is just only focused on the choir. Remember that the piano, it is part of the performance itself. So it is important that you try and familiarize yourselves with what is happening in the piano lines as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and I wish you all the best.